Please tap the screen, family. Togozen, Hotep. Please tap our screen. Please tap the screen, family. Tap. Good, you can hear me. Keep tapping. Just keep tapping that screen. Let's go. Thank you. Keep tapping. We should have a dance party one of these days. Thokozeni Royals. Ayisuka madoda. Ayisuka. How is everybody doing? How's everyone doing tonight? Guys, I was brought here. I did not I miss you guys. However, I am trying to get my energy back and to recover, but there is a message. And excuse me if I cough, but that is part of what is going on with me. But hopefully I should be getting back in top form in the next few days. I refuse to say die. It's good to be back with you guys. I really hope you can hear me. Please keep tapping the screen. Let me know if you can hear me well. If I need to try to project, I will try. But the risk of projection is that I will cough. So I'm going to try to keep it such that you can hear me, and hopefully I won't get overexcited so that I don't cough up a lung. But Thokozeni, Hotep Royals, Ndauwe Shewe, Kamagwini, Lesedi Khanya, Jambo, Muribwanji, Kedu, Ninjan. I hope everybody is doing well. So, as I've said before, I'm back in this part of the world. It was a whirlwind. I do have some story times to share with you, but I will intersperse the story times with some teaching. So I wanted us to be in awareness that we have entered a new season, right? We exited the season of Aset, the season of Great Mother, the season of Unomkhubulwane. However, while we have exited the season, meaning the month, if you want to call it that, we are still in the womb, meaning from now until September in the Southern Hemisphere, when we then celebrate our new year, September 23rd, we are literally in the womb. So all these other energies and principles that we are going to talk about, you will find that they have a lot to do with the work that we are supposed to be doing currently on ourselves, right? So I wanted us to talk about the season of ANPU, right? This is from our African calendar, and I'm just going to sort of read a little bit about ANPU so that you get an idea of what season we're in. Then I want to teach about something very important, and that is transmutation, right? So ANPU, according to our great ancestors, is the guardian of the gates, right? The guardian of the gates. ANPU's time is a time of change, right? It is change when the flesh dies and the spirit rises, right? I'll explain that a little bit later. But I also wanted to give you guys the things that connect us with ANPU, or this current energy. The stone is serpentine. The color is black. The metal is steel or brass. Steel or brass. The scent is camphor, which, if you know anything about embalming of the dead, you will know that camphor is used very much in death rituals, particularly by ancient ancestors, right? Because embalming and the death process or rituals were very important, right? Then the tree is the date palm, right? Dates, palm, okay? The animals are the dog, the jackal, the wolf, and the dung beetle, the scarab. Now, this is very important. Why do I want to talk about ANPU? Well, like I said, I was brought here because this is very important. We need to talk about ANPU. We need to talk about what is going on in this season so we can learn how to apply the lessons of the season and how to work with this energy for us to grow spiritually and also just to assist us in our daily lives. So, like I said, our ancestors were very wise. If you notice, with all the energies and principles, somebody once asked me, let's simplify this. Somebody once asked me, why are all these energies or principles or gods and goddesses, they always have some sort of animal head attached to them, or horns such as Heteru? Well, it makes perfect sense. They are all associated with one animal or the other. Why? Because our ancient ancestors actually studied nature. They studied nature during a particular season to figure out what energy was prevailing. And then they would associate the animal behavior during that particular season with the season. So the jackal, if you like, is called Impungushe in isiZulu. I hope I'm saying it correctly. Impungushe, the jackal. Our ancestors noticed something about this animal. When the jackal kills its prey, the jackal does not immediately consume it. The jackal will dig a hole and will put their prey in a hole and cover it. They will come back and exhume it and consume it after a certain amount of decay has taken place. This is them having nature assist them to digest it. And then by the time they consume it, it's partially digested, decayed. That is transmutation. Transmutation is the transformation or the changing of one thing or one form into another. Therefore, the jackal represents what happens during the season, or what should be happening and what is happening actually in our bodies. Because remember, we are composed of all these 12 principles. They are very functional in our bodies. And so ANPU rules what, if you think about it, within your body? ANPU rules digestion, right? ANPU rules digestion, because the digestive process is a form of transmutation where we're taking in certain food substances, right? I'm going to give you a demonstration because I happen to have grapes. So when you consume your grape, this is your grape in this form. But in order for your body to take up the nutrients that are in this, you have to consume it. And the digestive process starts where? In the mouth, right? We know that saliva contains certain digestive enzymes that digest particularly things like sucrose, glucose, starch as well. That's why sometimes you chew a piece of bread that isn't sweet. Chew it long enough, you will get a hint of sweetness. Why? Because the saliva contains digestive enzymes that will start the digestive process. Then you swallow it and it goes into your stomach, where the digestive process continues, right? So, why is this important, right? It's important in understanding, number one, your body. Like I said, ANPU rules your digestive system. So perhaps when you're eating, you can become conscious of what principle within your own body is controlling that process of digestion. Number one. Number two, transmutation is very important during this time. If you notice that the jackal buries its prey, the digestive process starts. For us, from a spiritual perspective, what does that mean and what does that look like? It is a time, again, where we are now less focused on the physical and need to focus more on the spiritual. Which brings me to what I said about the entire period we're in, which is from now. Actually, it started with Alset herself, from March 23rd all the way to September 23rd. We are focusing not on our physical bodies, but we are focusing on our spiritual growth and our transformation, which is transmutation. Now, where is my message? My message comes here. Bagwantu, we're gonna have to start taking ourselves a lot more seriously than we do. I've often ranted and raved about how we are so addicted to our distractions that year in, year out, this season comes round, and by the time September comes, we are still the same. We are still engaging in the same toxic behaviors. We are still engaging in the same distractions. We have not transformed. And as each year goes by, you choose to stay the same. Now, ANPU is very important because this is the energy that assists you to do the necessary work in the areas in your life where you need transformation. We know that the scarab beetle, which is also another animal that is associated with ANPU, and we have the scarab right in the center of the calendar. Why? To show that when we move from one season to another, there is a transformation that happens. Meaning that as you move from one season to the next, so too should you be transforming. Now, we've talked a lot about shadow work. We've talked a lot about healing our inner wounds. We've talked a lot about being conscious of those things about ourselves that we know are not good for us and that we know are not good for the collective. So you have another opportunity from now all the way until September. You can literally start engaging in some deep inner work because the energy that is around is going to support you. The energy that is prevailing from now all the way to September is going to support your processes if you engage in them. But then again, the choice is yours. Will you do the work or will you not do the work? It's very important, especially during this time that we're in. The Black nation is rising. Where are you going to find yourself as we rise? Where is Great Mother going to find you as we rise? Are you going to be found stuck in your distractions? Or are you going to be found engaged in the process of ascension? Because this is where it's at. The time for faking it is over. If you know that you are somebody who is not showing up in your family, in your community, in your space, in the world, if you know that you're not showing up in the manner that aligns with your path and your purpose, you are going to find yourself on the wrong side of history. We are in a really historic moment right now. Many people choose, once again, to remain in their distractions. You see them all over social media. You see people who are engaged in stuff that you look at and you're like, do you even know what time it is? It is time, Black Nation. That's why when I heard that I needed to come on, I was like, but I'm sick. I was told, yeah, you'll be all right. Go and deliver this message. See, my love for the Black Nation is that let's go together, family. Let's ascend together. This is our time. Everything that belongs to us is coming back towards us. Everything that many of us have been collectively manifesting is happening before our very eyes. It took us by surprise, many of us, because when we do our manifestation work collectively, it is not up to us to put a time limit or a timeline on it, because we know that in the spiritual realm, time doesn't exist. What we're sure of is that whatever it is we have asked for is already there. The only thing that is hindering us from receiving it in the physical is because a critical number of us are not yet ready. So y'all who are not engaging in your work, y'all who are not doing that serious soul searching and really aligning with Great Mother and aligning with Spirit, you're letting the side down. This will happen with or without you. But my point is it could happen so much quicker if we're all aligned. Great Spirit has already shown us that. I cannot believe what has happened in the last 3 years. It's been 3 years of intense engagement and manifestation, and we're here today. Who would have ever thought that right here, right now, There is somebody who has emerged on the African continent who has literally galvanized the Black nation worldwide to unite. We weren't looking. We just knew we needed to unite. We just knew that our survival depended on our unity. We knew that. Some of us have known this for decades. We just didn't know how it was going to happen and from where it was going to come. We had no idea. So when this started, maybe 2-3 years ago, and this king emerged, everybody was like, wait a minute. Who's that? What's happening? And he has shown us what can be achieved when we all say yes. And we all roll up our sleeves and we do our part, wherever you are in the world. You don't have to be Burkinabe to know that it's what time it is. The Black nation all over the world, those who are conscious and engaged now know what time it is. So I wanted to come and talk about transmutation as an invitation for us to engage in the work that we need to do as individuals. Because remember, our collective is made up of individuals. And like I said, you hurt one, you hurt us all. You don't do your work, you're slowing the collective down. Because the one thing about us as the Black nation, whether we like it or not, is we're all interconnected. See, this communication molecule, this divine molecule, this molecule that gives us our divinity, is such that we're interconnected. This is why it didn't take anyone telling us that we had to rise and show our disgust at those who thought or who think that they can harm Ibrahim Traore. I think they were shocked because in their minds, they had set about the divide and conquer for in perpetuity. They literally thought that the seeds of division that they had sown were so powerful that there's no way this would have happened. I think wherever it is they are, in their boardrooms or wherever it is they are plotting, I think they're shook. I think at this time they're all just like, what is happening? Because the sleeping giant is awake. The Black nation is awake. So us as individuals need to tap into that collective awakening and make sure we're doing what we need to do so that we can raise that collective frequency. I've said it before and I must say it again, and one day you guys will quote me. If enough of us raise our collective frequency and we disengage from this system, remember what I always say, we are in it, but we're not of it. We are forced to function within it, but we're not of it. Once you know that, this system cannot influence you here. And once enough of us are in that awareness and we raise our collective frequency, manifesting that total liberation we're all looking for, we don't have to do anything. The thing will collapse on itself. I've said it before, say it again. This is a spiritual kind of battle. It's a battle that does not require physical weapons, but it does require the Black nation. It requires Bagwantu to be deeply engaged in spiritual work. For you to ascend, for you to get your individual power back, whatever that may be. I know, maybe it's shape-shifting. I know, maybe it's causing lightning. I don't know, maybe it's you're a firebender. Maybe you're a waterbender. Maybe you're an airbender. Whatever it is, your gift is that aligns with whatever your element or elements are. That gift cannot fully manifest in you as long as you are stuck in this physical and as long as you don't come right and align and be in Maat. Another thing about ANPU. ANPU is who stands at the gate. He's the gatekeeper. So that when your soul transition, the first principle or energy that you come across as a spirit is the energy or spirit of ANPU, who holds the scales of Maat in his hands. That is where your heart is going to be weighed against a feather. What does that mean? What is a heavy heart? Because your heart needs to be light as a feather. We're not talking about your physical heart. We're talking about your spiritual heart. We're talking about that heart space. Because the heart space is what innovates your intentions. Remember, when we talk about manifestation, we say when you're manifesting, it is something that you think, you envision, and then you desire. Desire, the seat of desire is that spiritual heart. So if your heart is heavier than a feather, it means you got a lot of work to do before you can cross over to the realm of the ancestral or the ascendants. Now, if your heart is pure evil and the scales do that, well, there is Amit. Amit is the energy that will take your spirit, remember your spirit is energy, and totally transmute it into a form that cannot return to cause any harm any longer. Who knows, it might come back as a stone. Or as a lizard. Choice is yours. Choice is yours. Hey, don't come back as a lizard. I don't like reptiles. I don't like reptilians. Don't come back as a lizard. Guys, it's very important to understand this. One of the things that makes your heart heavy, I've said this before, I'll say it again, is unforgiveness. I know. By the way, when I say unforgiveness, I'm not talking about, slap me on this cheek, I'll turn the other cheek. We're not that kind. When I talk about unforgiveness, I'm talking about holding a grudge or holding grudges that weigh you down. You see, not a lizard. Eyeball. Please don't come back as a lizard. Right? You have to have this free flow of energy so that you don't have any spiritual clogs in your system that weigh your heart down. ANPU is the energy of discernment, meaning the ability to choose right from wrong when you are at a crossroads. And there are many people who come to a crossroads or who come to maybe not a crossroads, but a billion, like a spaghetti junction, all sorts of roads, and who will deliberately choose to go the wrong way. What is wrong or what is right? Because I've often said that in spirituality, we don't do rights and wrongs. What I mean by that is, if you are causing harm to yourself, if you are causing harm to others, if you are taking decisions that cause harm to the Black nation, you are wrong. Why I say there is no wrong or right is because there's no one external of yourself coming to punish you. You get to choose whatever path you want to choose, understanding that there are consequences to whatever choice you make. That's all we have in African spirituality, and our ancestors were like that. Even in a traditional ancient setting, that's why we had no prisons. There were no jails where you put people in. Everybody within communities understood that upon agreement as a community, if somebody grapes a child, if somebody steals, and the 42 confessions of Maat guide you in what is acceptable and what is not. So if you grape, if you steal from your neighbor, right? If all those things have consequences, and it would be agreed upon within the community that if somebody steals, the consequence for stealing is X. Banish him or cut his left hand off. I mean, it sounds extreme, but guess what that did? That meant that there were no jails because everybody knew that if I do X, this is the consequence. So when time came and you did X, the community would simply say, well, you were caught doing X. So what must happen? You pronounced your own judgment on yourself to say, I guess I have to give up my left hand. So be it. Then that was done. Do you see where I'm going with this, family? There were no policemen. You policed yourself. Because why? Discernment. The 42 confessions of Maat, you confess them when you know for sure that you can speak that and you don't indict yourself. You don't lie. Because Maat is not to be played with. These energies and principles are not just like, nice and softy. No. So many of us, when it comes to the 42 confessions, I cannot tell you that I can recite all those confessions every single day. All of them. Because I'm human. And I'm not always worthy to confess them in authenticity and with integrity and truth. So I don't. When I know that today, this one didn't quite work out. I don't. But they are guiding me. Remember, they are confessions, but the laws are within you. We are all born within and created through those 42 laws of Maat. including your organs. I'll do a teaching during my art season where I tell you which law connects to what organ or organ system within your body. Because remember, Maat is the scaffolding upon which the whole universe was created or came into being. Otherwise, everything would collapse on itself. So everything is held in its rightful place through the 42 laws of Maat. So within you, that is why you are who you are. With integrity, you have bodily integrity. Your organs function in the way that they do. It is because of the scaffolding. I'm going a little deep. But I just needed you guys to understand that during this time, ANPU is your guide in terms of discernment. ANPU is your conscience. What is your conscience? It is that thing that you have deep inside that is telling you, you know that you shouldn't go this way. And many of us will override that and go and do it anyway. Just do it knowing that there are consequences to yourself and that you are letting the Black nation down. See, many of us are very aware of our interconnectedness. That is why we work relentlessly to align. So that I don't indict myself and that I can ease my conscience knowing that I'm doing my part, not just as an individual, but for the Black nation. And when I transgress, I am letting not just myself or my family, but I'm letting the Black nation down. You will always hear me refer to you as the individual, but I also need to emphasize our interconnectedness as Abantu. So for me, hurting you is hurting myself ultimately and hurting the Black nation. When I am selfish, I do myself down, but I also do the Black nation down. When I fail in my responsibility as a parent, I fail myself, I fail my children, I fail my ancestors, I fail the divine beings, and I also fail the Black nation. Because I am raising individuals that will cause havoc within the Black nation, whether they are aware of it or not. So in everything that you are doing, in every duty and responsibility that you have, understand that you're not doing this for just yourself. You are doing it for the collective. Are you raising children that will contribute positively to the collective? If you are wounding your children, knowingly or unknowingly, you are hurting yourself, your children, your ancestors, your lineage, and the Black nation. That is why in ancient Africa, we talk about it takes a village. There was a time where when I grew up, if I was seen doing something wrong with by our neighbor, she had the right to reprimand me there and then go home and tell my mother, and I would get it double. Why? Because it was understood, this interconnectedness. that I just wasn't my mother's child. I was a child of the community. I was the child of the collective. And so all parents raised all children. Understand too that our value system was the same. How messed up are we now because we have introduced values into our communities and into the Black nation that have nothing to do with us. Therefore, I see a child behaving a particular way and I say, hey, and the mother comes up behind me and says, mind your business. That's my child. Because we've lost our sense of values as a nation. What are our values? What are our common values? Yes, culturally, the Black nation is vast and is huge. But I know for certain that we have certain values that we still have that can bind us together in terms of how we are raising future generations. And this, for me, is very important. Because why? Because legacy. Who are we leading out of this dark age we've been in and into the golden age? Are we preparing our young people adequately to take leadership role in the new dispensation of the Black nation and the golden age? Because the golden age is here, it's upon us. But if we ourselves, as the parents, as the grandparents, aren't even sure of what our values are, aren't even sure of who we ourselves are, what are we going to give these young people? These are some very important things to think about. Some very important things to think about. And we go back to our values. We've made it fashionable to have children. We've made it fashionable to have children. And one parent gets up off the bed of the making of the babies and disappears. That is a taboo. That is a taboo. So our family structure and our family values are a mess. And every time I scroll through the social media platforms and I hear men going on about women and submission, and I hear women going on about this is where I realize how lost we are. And this is where my concern for the next generation comes in. I acknowledge our wounding as a Black nation. I acknowledge too that our family structure was not broken down by us. I acknowledge also that external forces and the colonizer and the enslaver were very, very intent on breaking up that unit. But I hope now you understand why. Because there can be no Black nation without healthy individuals. There can be no Black nation without healthy individuals. There can be no Black nation without healthy relationships. There can be no Black nation without healthy families. So you see how much work we got to do. And I know for a fact that that work is not just going to be the work that falls on us, because we can't do it on our own. I know that. However, those of us who are conscious can start making the necessary steps And I know that spirits, the galactic beings, our Creator, Great Mother, will assist us. And I hate to put it like this, but there will be those who will be destroyed along with palm-colored creatures and along with the sellouts amongst us. Because if you are a waste of air and space in the new revolution, you will be removed. Don't say I didn't warn you. I'm not saying this to scare you. I'm just stating what I have been told. And if you don't wash yourself, wash your spirit, wash your mind of this patriarchal nonsense that y'all inherited from the colonizer, you are going to be removed. This is very important. Talk to anybody in any African language, and they who really know and who have come to understand the truth will tell you that my God is my mother. Because I see her, she is the portal through which I came into this incarnation. So then the question becomes, why are black men disrespecting women? We need to trace back to where that seed came from. That seed of misogyny and hatred and jealousy and competition. Maybe tomorrow I'll do a live so we can really unpack that, because that is the crux of it all. Women are saying we are decentering men. Do you understand what that means for the black nation? When women are saying we are decentering men. Because our men have become our enemy. Majority of black men don't like us. In fact, they hate us. I'm just going to state it as it is. You see it in how a grown-ass man can grape his own child. Where did you learn that sick behavior from, if not from your colonizer? Because that whole incest and pedophilia thing comes from them. Where did you learn that you can take that masculine, testosterone-laden strength and beat on a woman? Because that you were taught by your colonizer and you internalized it. Where did you learn that you will compete with Goddess and forget your role as God? And I say compete because majority of black men are jealous of black women for the things that black women are able to do. Innate gifts that we were born with for the collective. Where do you get the nerve to think you can be in competition with that? Is it because you forgot your place? Is it because you choose to forget your role? Because we're supposed to be complementary, most, not competition. So where'd that come from? Who put it in black male minds that black women are supposed to serve them? See, you guys mix things too much with that your Bible that talks to you about submission and servitude. That is not African culture or spirituality. But because it served y'all's purpose, you went with it. But look where it's gotten us. We are in this mess because of that. The inability to understand and to get your wisdom from the divine feminine, because we are intrinsically spiritual. We hear things. We intuit things. We know stuff before it happens. We dream dreams that some of y'all don't even know or understand. And when then we come to say, no, we need to move left, y'all think because you are brutes, we are going to move right. And look where going right got us. Nyanezwana, are you hearing me? Yeah. What needs to happen is, indlovukazi, black women, y'all need to get with the program and get to take your rightful place. This is the only way this whole thing, you see, if we come right as indlovukazi, the rest of the collective will come right. And those who don't come right will be removed. And if you are one of those women who is in the gang of pick me, pick me, pick me, I'm over here, pick me, and you talk dirty about your sisters and you do your sisters dirty because you think you're going to curry favor with the masculine, you're in the wrong game, because guess what? That whole patriarchal structure is already crumbled. So you're trying to curry favor with the powerless now because you don't see that you are the power. You too will be removed. See, people think Great Mother is some softie who's like, my children, my indlovukazi. No, she's not. Take it from someone who knows. No, she's not like that at all. Facets of Great Mother, for those who don't know. Auset Nomkhubulwane has many facets. Sekhmet, whose season comes in June, I'm Sekhmet, is one of her facets. We will talk about her when the time comes. But she will burn and she will slash and she will unalive. And she will get out of, like she's a purifier. She's also a healer, but she's a purifier. So when I talk about how people will be dealt with or removed if they stand in the way of what is supposed to happen, I'm talking about the energy of Sekhmet, who is a facet or an aspect of Great Mother. Her season coming up soon. Sazosha abantu who are a waste of air and space. And don't say, Gogo, you're calling us waste of air and space. If the shoe fits, wear it. You don't have to be a waste of air and space. But if you are, I'm not going to sugarcoat it for you. I'm not going to be here to go, because I'm not that. I'm just going to tell you like it is. Your days are numbered. And it's going to be very excruciating. because you will be trying to swim against the current energy, which is what the colonizer and palm-colored creatures are trying to do right now. They cannot tell the wood for the trees because they are trying to hold on to something whose time has come to an end. Everything moves in cycle. We have exited Pisces. We have exited the age of Set. That 2,000-year period is over. We are now in the age of Maat. They are still trying to hold on. So what's going to happen? They'll be destroyed with the old, because they are not going to have the capabilities to function and exist in the new. Same with you if you don't come right. So these are opportunities to come right. Ndlovukazi, I'm telling you now, your role is a privileged role. Your role is a divine role. And if you don't see that now, I don't know when you'll see it. All I'm here to tell you is, if you stand in the way of the collective, because you want to play dumb or play ignorant or play, I didn't know, play victim. Ke zozibonela, you shall see for yourself. So this is a call. This is a real shout out. Like, this is a clarion call. Like, listen, I'm blowing the bugle. Boo, 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 boo. I'm beating the drum. So I just wanted to come and share that with you guys. I have lots that I will be sharing. I will be back tomorrow. However, I wanted to share something. For the Indlovukazi. See? You cannot ever accuse me of not loving you all. You cannot accuse me of not loving you. This is called breaking the cycle. It's by Gogo Tankiso and Mkulu Nkanyezi. This is for you, Ndlovukazi. If you go to the link in my bio, get yourself this, because one of the things we are going to do as Ndlovukazi, we are going to do book club with this and workshop this, because it is heavy. It is heavy, duty, material, but you all need it. It is time. So I know many of you are like, Gogo, but the ancestral book. But yay! Me, I move according to spirit. The ancestral book is there parked for now, because this had to come out, and it had to come out quickly. And it came down as divine inspiration. 3 women sat in a triangle and downloads. Jocelyn, I hope you are here, baby girl, because wow. This came into being in the space of 5 intense days. When I say intense, I mean intense. And I'm going to have Gogo Tankiso here tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is 2 p.m. South Africa time, to talk about this, to talk about her work, and to talk about how this all came into being. It's time to heal, Ndlovukazi. This is no child's play now. It's really time to dig deep. Now, the beauty of the how, get yourself your copy, hold on to it. So that once I know that we have a certain number of us who've gotten it, and we may need to do this in batches, because, excuse me, not everybody's going to get theirs at the same time, but I will be there to support you going through this. It's going to be painful. I'm not going to lie to you. It's going to be painful, but it is work that needs to be done now. Right here, right now. Look, I am a messenger of Great Mother. I'm a devotee of Great Mother. And I only do what it is I'm told to do. And I only move how I'm told to move. So this is the offering. And it's literally called, Let's Talk About Breaking the Cycles. Because it's time to break the cycles. Like I said, if we come right, everyone else will come right. Josh says, I am the son of Great Mother. Nomkhubulwane. Siyabonga. Now, for those who are in the diaspora of South Africa, I'm going to talk to Jocelyn to see how we can make these available to you. It might be that you guys need to wait until I'm back there, which is not going to be long, I promise. And then maybe what we can do is I will bring copies for those who want their own copies, and then I will be there to do in-person sessions, like the Indlovukazi workshops, where we will sit together, because this is not easy. This is not going to be easy. We are literally going to be squeezing boils and lancing them, and you know how, like, when you've got a thorn in your foot, those of you from back home who walk barefoot can relate, and we have to take a spinet or a needle, and we have to dig that thing out. Yeah, it's that kind of party, but it is a necessary thing to do. Unless, of course, you just want to stay the same forever. And you just, because like I said, if you stay untransmutated, if you stay, listen, guys, get you a scarab beetle, get you something that is going to keep reminding you that transformation is the word of the day. If you don't want to transform, understand that there are just consequences to that, and that's your choice. But I have to tell you, it's now or never. It's do or die. Ndlovukazi. So, Black Nation, thank you for hearing me out. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Lulu ships worldwide as long as it takes a few weeks. Great. So, diaspora family, Jocelyn has confirmed you can get your copy. You can get your copy. And then once I know who all over the world has got their copy, we might need to do it in groups. I might need to have a South Africa group separate, and then with Gogo Tankiso. And those of you in South Africa might actually have the honor of having Gogo Tankiso conduct physical workshops with you in person. Because Ugogo is a trained Gogo, she'll tell you all about herself tomorrow. And then those of us who are in this part of the world, we'll figure out a way to do it. We'll probably do it over Zoom, maybe once a week, because, yeah. So, love you too, Joshi. Joshi, you know, like, I'm grateful for the brothers. I'm grateful for the kings who can sit through the lashings. Now, Joshi, I have a request. Josh, go and school your brothers. Go and school your brothers, because one of the biggest problems that we have in the Black nation is Black men not reprimanding, not calling one another to order. Josh, make me a promise. When you see a brother doing wrong, when you see a brother disrespecting a sister, when you see a brother harming a sister, step up. Step up. Because one of your roles is as protectors. But I can tell you now, Black women, indlovukazi, don't buy that anymore. Y'all used to protect the ports for us while we did business with the colonizer. Are you aware of that? You were the protectors. Y'all are the ones who used to take orders from the queens when to go to war, when not to go to war. But because it was put in your heads that we are beneath you, everything turned upside down for the Black nation. And that is one of the reasons we got colonized. And then it was the brothers who made conscious decisions to start selling off some of our own. That is how we got where we are. We need to tell the truth so that we can break the cycles. Thank you, Josh. I really appreciate to hear that. Thank you, thank you. That is so restorative. So, I hope that this was useful. Please go ahead and order your copy. I will be back tomorrow with Gogo, and we will have a conversation. It should be fun in terms of you guys getting to know her. It should be light. Yeah, Eric Andre, I don't even know why you are here, to be honest with you. I don't know why you are here with your negative energy, but we move. So on that note, family, see you tomorrow. I love you, Black Nation. Masithokozeni.